Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered and Functional. I'm your host, Mandy. I'm here with my bestie, Sasha, and we've got a really good one for you guys today. Gonna keep it nice, short, and sweet, like yours too truly here, 5'3" crew, 5'2" crew. And
Yeah, seriously.
we're going to talk about how your circle influences your success or lack of success. Bum, bum, bum. SVU. Dun dun. So this is something everyone can relate to. Nobody is exempt from this. We all have a circle of friends, of family, romantic relationships, doesn't matter who it is. All the people that are around us in some way, shape, or form will influence us, our life, the way we act, the way we talk, the things we do. So, this is going to kind of be a little bit more pertaining to health and like our goals and how we're eating, how we're working out. And the big theme, if we've got a quote for anything in this episode that we really want to hammer home, this is something Sasha said before on one of her episodes, and that is you can't heal in the same environment that made you sick. You can't heal in the same environment that made you sick. But you can heal in a new environment that is going to nourish you, that is going to help you grow and blossom into the person that you want to be. And when I say environment, I just want to make that clear. Like, sure, it could be a physical place. Like, if we want to take it super literally, like if you're living in a house that has mold, yeah, you're going to get sick with mold. But in this case, environment also means the people you're around, the conversations you have, the emotional safety or lack of safety that you experience. It could even be social media. Basically, when I refer to environments, it's everything. Sash, where did you first start noticing that certain people either energized you or drained you of your energy?
Where in myself or like
Like
in
where
situ
in life? Was there like a particular time or did you notice a shift within yourself?
so I have had many shifts because there were shifts with one group of friends. Then there was shifts with another group of friends where some came out of it, some didn't. Then there was a big shift in family. And so there were kind of like different layers of shifts. And with every single one, it taught me more and more about myself, what I allow, what I don't allow, how I know that something's not right for me. I think the first biggest shift, and I've spoken about this a couple of times on my podcast, on your podcast, was had a really close friendship with two girls. We grew up together pretty much, best friends, and um, that friendship started falling apart very rapidly. And maybe I just started noticing it quicker, but I started feeling in my body that like I was just uncomfortable around them. I started feeling in my energy that I was just not interested in hanging out with them. I did not align with the things that they were doing in life. It was not the way that I wanted to live my life. Like there was just a big shift in myself. When that shift in myself happened, I realized that I could not be around these people if I want to keep going with the shift, if I want to keep improving my life. Because my shift was into a self-improvement mode. It was pick myself up, stop with the shit, and become something better, become someone better. And yeah, I mean, the most recent shift was family shift and just not wanting to be around certain family because now I could tell, like, in myself, like, I would just get so anxious and so antsy and just
Mhm.
so uncomfortable and so almost like scared, like, like a fear, like a reaction would always come out of thinking of being around certain family members. And, I just distanced myself from there versus before 5, 6 years ago in people pleasing mode, I would have been like, no, yeah, I'm just having like a day or like it's just
Mhm.
me or whatever. So multiple shifts, but learned a lot through them. I wanna ask you that question now.
I also similarly used to kind of be stuck in that people pleasing loop and would really ignore the signs and feelings in my body that would make me be like, ooh, maybe I don't like being in this person's presence or in this environment. So I would ignore it, people please, be like, oh, Mandy, you're just being a little silly goose, get over it. And it was kind of, I want to say my mid to late 20s was like one of the biggest shifts where I realized that I have the power to control my environment and to control who and what has access to me and how it kind of shaped my feelings. And the biggest one being making the conscious decision not to be around my biological father, who is an alcoholic. And I realized that I would feel, like you said, almost like a primal, like fear or panic type feeling just at the thought of being around him and being in that environment, knowing he was going to indulge in alcohol and turn into a person that I didn't want to be around, I didn't like, that made me feel uncomfortable, that would be very verbally and emotionally abusive. And that's when I was like, oh, hey, wait, I'm an adult now. I don't have to deal with this. And arguably, making that decision was one of the most freeing and most aligned choices. Wasn't easy, but the way I felt after making that choice, like, I don't even have to tell you. It's just your body is like, yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, but that's also a good segue into talking about like why our body reacts the way that it does to certain people or to certain environments. Like I said, environment is not just people, it can be a physical place, it can be a theoretical place like the internet, like social media. But the reason why it's so important to pay attention to what your body is saying is that it honestly kind of is your primal system, your instincts. Like, am I safe here? Your nervous system is literally being, am I safe with this person? Do I feel safe in this environment? And if you're around people that don't make you feel safe, like I was, that's literally my body being like, we're in fight or flight. This is an unpredictable environment. We don't really like it. Conversely, you can be around people that do make you feel extremely safe and extremely comfortable. And your nervous system, like Sasha and I both said, we stepped away from those environments and it was like night and day. Your body, your nervous system will say, okay, this is cool. I like this. But when we are around those environments and people that do induce like a stress response in our nervous system, this is elevating our cortisol. I don't know about you, Sash, but like I definitely wasn't sleeping the best when I allowed access from these people to me. Impairs digestion. Oh, my gut health was atrocious. Disrupts your hormones. That's also when I was like in the thick of experiencing PMDD and a huge estrogen dominance. So it is very important, the environment that you're in. Especially as humans, we are very sensitive to each other. Socialization and co-regulation of nervous systems is super important. That's a huge reason why like having pets to cuddle will like help make us feel calm, or significant others that do make us feel safe. Sash, I know you've been through a few things. I'm not asking you to share anything you don't want to share, but did you notice what big of a difference it was you being around AJ versus you being around like previous people that you had dated?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, with that, but even me being around AJ, which is my fiance, versus me being around my mom, which is
Hmm.
a family member that I distanced myself from. It's, and you would think like both people
Hmm.
that like love a lot, whatever,
Yeah.
it's been the biggest difference because around him, we could be sitting on the couch, not even speaking to each, like not speaking, but like just watching TV, doing our own thing, hanging out or cooking together and just like doing very minimal things. And I feel very good. I feel very calm. I'm never worried that he's mad about something or he's upset about something or that he's holding back from talking to me about something versus any time that I was with a had a different boyfriend many moons ago, it was always like, oh, there's something wrong. Oh, there's some like there's a problem. And closest example right now with my mom, like anytime that I w would be around her prior to us going our separate ways, there would be very uneasy feelings of like what is she upset about this time? Like, what is she mad about this time? Like, what did I do wrong? Why is she being like this? Why did she say that to me? Like, and it wasn't a self thing as much as I knew that there was something coming from the cycle of events,
Hmm.
like from the pattern of events. So there is a very big difference in how I feel around those people because anytime that I knew I was gonna go see my mom, I knew I had to sit in my car for a couple of minutes to take some deep breaths because even if it was a great time, I would still not be feeling easy. Like I would still be feeling on edge. Like even just like thinking about seeing her would make me feel on edge. Versus any time that he texts me that he's on his way home or like that he's coming back from the gym or coming back from the store, like, oh, I'm coming up now or whatever. I'm like, hee, like little kid excited waiting for like the gifts under the Christmas tree. Like, just like
Yeah.
a completely different response.
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing that. And then I also want to ask you too, what difference have you noticed since shifting the main people that you surround yourself with and like kind of segueing into that cliche but very appropriate, like it's a cliche for a reason because it's very true, if you will, that you are only going to be as successful as the five people that you surround yourself with. So what kind of shift have you noticed? Because going from being around your mom like almost every single day to every single day, how have you noticed the way that like successes or things have shifted in your life once you kind of change the people you surround yourself with? Like not just
I
that
mean,
physical feeling, but like what happened in your
like
life?
I mean, once I started surrounding myself with people that were in alignment is the best way to say it, that people that were also trying to be their best selves, also trying to make something out of themselves, not just say that they're going to do it, but actually doing it, that had structure, that had routine, that had goals, like real goals. I felt a lot more pushed to also accomplish mine. Like I felt a lot more excitement. I felt a lot more in tune with, yeah, I'm not crazy for wanting more for myself. I'm not crazy for setting big goals and trying to achieve big things. And that goes for my coaching career, that goes for my bodybuilding, that goes for my personal relationships, because there is now not a single person that I'm surrounded with that isn't moving ahead in their lives in one way or another, that isn't actively trying to be better every single day, that isn't showing up for themselves in the best way possible, even when they have 20% in the tank. Versus when I was around other groups of people, certain family members, certain friends, it was always excuses. It was always, oh, I need to get this done, but haven't gotten it done yet. It was, oh, well, this didn't work out for me because of this, that, and the third. It was no personal responsibility. It was no real action being taken. And if there was action taken, it was almost by like accident. It wasn't like intentional or planned out or structured or thought through. And that's a really, really strong point, that you are only as good as the five closest people around you, because the reality is if you hang out around junkies and trash, and not saying that either one of us have done
Mhm.
that, but if you hang out around people who don't have goals or ambitions or anything, they will A, not push you closer to yours, but B, also possibly and probably look down on yours because they are just not capable of wrapping their minds around the fact that there is more.
Hmm.
And that's kind of where I was at, of like, yeah, there is like, I don't mean to go off on a tangent, but very specifically for bodybuilding, I remember when I had to pull out of my prep because my health was just in a very bad place. My mom was like, good, like it's good that you pulled out of it. Like you don't need to be doing this anyways. Like you don't need to do this. Like you don't need to prep. And I remember like like I was like crying telling her that I'm pulling out because of how like upsetting it was for me. And the main and biggest reason why I was pulling out was because my health was in a really bad place, because I was living with her and my stress was through the roof and like it was just very bad. And I just remember standing and looking at her and I'm like, this is not a good thing for me. Like this is not what I want to be doing. This is a really difficult decision for me right now because I need to put my health first. And the fact that you aren't like you don't like yes, she was supporting me pulling out of my prep, but she was almost like shitting on the fact that I'm a competitive bodybuilder who why do you even need to do this anyways? It's
Hmm.
like you don't see the vision, that's fine. Don't shit on it. Don't make it feel small because you don't see it.
Yeah.
You know? So that was just like one thing. And I remember just thinking to myself, oh, I can't wait till I get my health together just so I can stick it to you and show you that I can, like, this is a sport for me. Like, this
Mhm.
is something that I'm meant to do. And that
Yeah.
was just like one very small example, but
Oh, I think that was a very big, impactful example, like perfect to a T, because I mean, it makes sense. The If you're hanging around people that normalize quitting something, that normalize burnout, that normalize like testing other people's boundaries or shitting on growth, you're not going to be in an environment that's encouraging you to rise up to be a better version of yourself because that's what they normalize. Versus if you're around people that normalize, hey, yeah, like I'm sorry this happened to your health, but like, you know what? Take a step back, recalibrate, and then you're just gonna come back stronger. Like that feels a hell of a lot more supportive than like good. Glad you pulled out. Not saying that's how she said it, but you know,
pretty much like you don't need to be doing this anyways. Like, okay,
right. Like just to
sure.
that is kind of like also what I want to articulate here is that if you are in the wrong surrounded by the wrong people, your personal growth can create friction with them because your change is disrupting like their habits, their routine, their normal way of living, if you will. And not everyone is going to benefit from the new version of you, even if it is a better version. So that's kind of like a something that you can stop and assess for yourself and think, hey, if my friends want to see me succeed, like, are they really going to do things like, hey, good, glad you're pulling out of prep. You don't need to be doing that? Hmm, probably they're not going to say that if they want me to grow and they want me to achieve my dreams, because it's not like you ever made your dreams a secret. Um,
No.
I kind of want to invite anybody listening, if you're not sure if you're in the right environment or not, something I've had some of my clients do is an audit, an energy audit, essentially. Like listing out what places give you energy. Does your workplace give you energy? If you work from home, does your office space give you energy? Or does it drain it? Do the people you hang out with, do they give you energy or do they drain it? Do the TV shows you watch? And this is one people really don't think about. If you're watching Law and Order, SVU, murder mystery show, like yes, they're entertaining, but if you watch that every single night before bed and you're like kind of wired and you're like, dang, oh, what if somebody attacks? Or like, ooh, I can't wait to see what happens on next week's episode. How is that making your energy feel in your body? Not
Yeah.
great. Probably should limit that. Same thing with the books you read and social media. Audit what gives you energy in a positive way and what takes your energy away in a negative way. And that's not saying, hey, hard and fast, cut people out of your life, but it's good to know and be mindful about what's an energy taker, what's an energy giver, how can I create boundaries if somebody kind of takes a little bit more energy. Maybe I don't want to cut this person out, and that's fine, but then maybe they need a boundary and I don't have to see them 4 days a week. Or maybe this
Yeah.
is just my friend that I see on weekends. Or maybe it's a friend I just see when our friend group gets together for big holidays. That's okay too. At the end of the day, you have to live with yourself. You have to live with the feelings in your body. So you need to make that call.
Period. That was
Period. The last point I want to make, based off of like, hey, you don't necessarily have to cut anyone out of your life, but in some cases, it's the move. It's the move. And it's not always an easy call to make. Like Sasha and I have both commented about how we had to make a very intentional, conscious decision not to currently have relationships with parents, with certain parents. Now, instead of kind of getting down in the dumps and being like, this really sucks, I wish I was still talking to my dad. I wish, like, you can sit there and wish all you want that the relationship was different. It doesn't change the fact that it's not different. So instead of falling into that victim mindset about it, I want you to focus on what's a positive here. How are we healing? Sometimes the only way we can heal is if we take that space, if we get some perspective, if we get some distance. And that's also going to help you build up self trust. Sash, you said you stepped away, your body immediately felt better. And if your body is telling you, like, from a primal state of being, like, ooh, this feels better not being around that energy, you're going to be prone to trust those feelings in the future when they come up, and your body's like, I do not like this. This is not for me.
Yeah. And now you could tell what feels good and what doesn't.
Yeah.
You can clock it.
Yeah. And honestly, with some people, you need that distance to get the clarity. You might not see it. I think this is probably more common with like codependent relationships or friendships, which I've experienced myself as well. Maybe this will, I guess, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just tell this really short story. And if there is anyone OG here that started following me back in the day, they're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. But I used to have a really good friend that I would go to the gym with every single day. We would film content for each other every single day. And what I started slowly realizing is it became a toxic union, very codependent, and I would get extremely anxious when this individual would try and like give me a gift. That was like their like friendship love language. Like they were always giving gifts to other people. And I was like, I knew that's what they wanted. And I was not in a place to do that. So anytime they gave me a gift, I felt very anxious because I knew it was going to come back and bite me in the butt later. Like, oh, you're not a good friend. Like, when's the last time you went out of your way to give me something or to do something for me?
Mm.
This friend would constantly buy me gym clothes, and at first it came around like I believe you can do this, you can be a coach, you can change your body. It was very masked by a lot of positivity. So I'm like, "Oh my God, I've never had a friend like this. This is super cool." But then like as it went on, it was like I could feel the animosity, I could feel like the anxiousness, or it was like in the text messages that we would exchange. Very like, well, I did this for you, so when are you gonna do?
Not good feeling.
It wasn't good. It was very like there was a score being kept and communication. Anytime I would try and communicate, it got shut down. So I felt like there was really no way to grow in that friendship because they wanted it one way and I was trying to grow and change in a different way. So kind of like talking about that, Sash, what was the hardest thing for you in creating space or redefining the relationships?
My love for the people. The hardest thing was no, one, my love for the people, and two, me as a person knowing that I wouldn't do that to someone.
Mm,
Like it was difficult to wrap my mind around many things because I didn't want the space. Because I am a very want everyone around me, love this, that, happy. Like, yes, of course, I love my me time, but overall, like I enjoy being around people. I enjoy having a good time with my loved ones. And it was difficult for me to take the step away, knowing that if I take the step away from one person, I'm not just taking a step away from her, I'm taking a step away from the whole family. Like it was a package deal. There was no like it's just we stopped talking and then like I still have a relationship with my sister and with this and with that and the third and the fourth. So it was like an immediate shutdown from everything. And just knowing that I still have so much love in my heart for these people that and that never changed and that never will change, that it was very conflicting to step away because of how much I love them, but also knowing that if there's ever in my life a time and place that I have to put myself first, it is right here, right now. And that felt for a moment selfish because it was something that I've never done before, like to that extent. Like with friends, one thing, with some coworkers, whatever, bosses, okay, but to this extent, it was very difficult. But I knew that and even as I took that step away, I could immediately feel like I felt the sadness and the hurt and everything, but I also felt myself starting to come back to me and like just like seeing myself like healing in real time, and that was conflicting because I'm like, how am I feeling better and doing better without these people in my life when these people are people that are supposed to be in my life? Like I had this idea of like what should and shouldn't be happening, and this just should not be happening. Like this was just not on my bingo card this year. So
Mhm.
that was the most like difficult part in that, of just knowing that I wouldn't do that. And like it almost like didn't feel fair, but not
Yeah.
from a victim standpoint, just like this wasn't how I wanted the cards to play out, but this is how they're playing out. So what am I gonna do with this from here?
Hmm. What would you tell somebody that is similarly experiencing like what you did, whether it's with family or like a long time friendship or even like a relationship? What advice would you give them for dealing with that feeling? Because it is hard to walk away from somebody that you have so much love for.
Oof. It's hard to even nail down one piece of advice, but I would say more than anything, truly
Mhm.
trust your gut, because you will know in your gut, like if it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. And if you've made the effort to, I'm not saying like you get into one little argument and you're like, no, you're not
Mhm.
serving me anymore. Like, no, if you've tried to make amends, if you tried to fix stuff, you tried to have conversations, you've made an effort, like you fought for it, and it's just not working and hurting you and draining you, it will hurt to walk away, but the cost of staying is greater.
Mm, that is that's true. And it comes back to the whole you cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. And the
Exactly.
people that want you to heal will heal. They will create a healing environment for you. So I think
Yeah.
that's great, great advice. Again, guys, I don't want you to think that we're sitting here being like, cut everybody out of your life. Like,
Screw everyone.
no.
Be solo, have a
Yeah.
dog, and live on your own. No,
No.
absolutely not.
Not, I mean, that might be the answer for some people, but what we're really trying to explain here is that it's not just other people, right? We have to take a certain amount of accountability for our own actions and like how do we contribute to a situation? How do we contribute to a relationship? And again, if you want to grow, if you want to do better, if you have those conversations about like, hey, this doesn't feel right, let's talk it out. If you're doing what you can to take that responsibility, to make those steps, to grow in that relationship, and you are not being reciprocated, like Sash says, listen to your intuition. That's data, that's information. Maybe the pages aren't aligned right now. It doesn't mean that they won't ever be aligned, but it also doesn't mean sit there and operate in your life as if you're just waiting for that person to catch up to you. Because this is the other kind of perspective I want to leave as like a last little tidbit is trust, whether it's you believe in like a certain deity, if you believe in God, if you believe in the universe, trust that whatever is leaving your life in a current season is literally leaving so that it can make room for something better and more aligned for who you're becoming. So
I love that.
it doesn't have to be about loss. I think that's what people get caught up in is like, oh, I'm losing this. And it's like, but what do we have to gain from all the
A lot,
space? Yeah.
a lot.
So, everyone, take a moment out of your week, whenever, do a little energy audit, see what's serving you, what's not serving you, and maybe everything's fine. And then in that case, like, hell yeah, get down with yourself. But if there are some areas that need a little love and attention, go ahead and give it to yourself so that you're not limiting your growth. Because here at Unfiltered and Functional, we want to see you become your best self. If you guys love this episode, please rate it 5 stars, comment, subscribe, like, it helps us grow. And also, we love interacting. So if you guys want future topics to be covered, comment that, send us a DM. I will link our Instagram, and from there, we also have link trees there in the show notes so you can connect with us on socials. And every new episode drops Monday. We'll see you guys on the next one.